Hey everyone, welcome to Average Joe Preparedness. My name's Rick, and I'm an Average Joe. Okay, if you've been here a while, you know why I look this way. If you're new here, you'd be like, "Why does that guy look like that? He looks terrible." And it's just the way, because I'm usually really busy, and you're not supposed to wear gray when you're getting filmed or videos because of that. And there's like holes in it, and my hair's in it, stains in my hat. And this is the way, people. And like I said, if you've been here a while, you know it. Because I'm trying to work. Oh, you guys see? Oh, and if you've been here for a while, the fan, I'm actually using. I'm not testing it. I'm using it because it's friggin' hot here, which I'm pretty sure it is everywhere. So, yeah, I don't know if you guys can actually hear it. I got it on low, and it's just enough to try to keep me cool. But anyways, the reason for this video, I saw something, and the feeds is my way of going feeds. It was actually probably on my computer. It doesn't matter. And that's the reason why I'm making this video. It's going to be a little dark, but it's going to be at the end. Yes? Until then, let's go over some updates and some new info and stuff. Yes? Yes. Okay, first things first, I want to thank everyone for the birthday wishes. And I got some birthday presents here, just a couple I was going to show you guys. Had a great time with the grandkids and the kids, and we did the bowling thing, and we played video games and laser tag, and yeah. Don't judge me, but I had a great time, and there were smiles, and had donuts instead of a cake, long story. And yeah, so had a good time. It was fun. I had a great time. Everybody else seemed to have a great time, especially the grandkids, and that's what counts. Yes? So, oh, and of all the people that guessed, all the people, there was only a few. I mean, more than a few, but yes, the answer is, do the math. Yeah, the answer is 56. I am 56 years old. That's right. So I just go 50 something because I stopped actually keeping track once I hit 50, because does it really matter? I don't think so, but I could be wrong. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Birthday presents. Let's look at it. So these are just a couple of things I got. I'll show you guys this. It is a herb wall planter. So I'm actually going to put this, I have fences out back, vinyl fences. You guys know what I'm talking about? And I'm going to get the little hooks. They have little hooks that go over the top and then hook it in. I'm going to give it a shot and see what happens. I'm going to try different seasons and different places on my fence to see where I can get something to grow. I just thought it was really cool. I've never done this. So this is new. People who know me, they give me like new things to try. Yes? Did I mention I got the hay bales out back? I think I mentioned I was getting hay bales. And yeah, so anyways, the point being is because of Carol, not the lovely lady in my life, her mom, and she can't really bend, she's getting older, and so 2 hay bales, it comes up to like right here, it's like a raised garden bed kind of. Plus I've heard you can grow stuff in hay bales or straw bales. These are actually hay bales, not straw bales. And we'll see what happens. So I don't know if I mentioned that, but yeah, different ways of growing stuff. Just like fun. Yes? Yes. What else did I get? I got, oh, so yeah, I like to start at the bottom and work my way up. So in my, the emergency bags that I have in my car, emergency bags, tool bags, whatever, I have jumper cables. And then it was recommended to me that I get better ones. And again, good enough. You start with something and work your way up. And so I think I showed you guys in a video, I'm not going to put it up there, that I'd gotten better jumper cables, right? And I don't know if it was mentioned or whatever. So anyways, upgrading. So what I got is, it's actually charging. So I'm not going to, can you guys see that? That is one of those battery packs that you can charge your cell phone or your laptop, or what's got a little flashlight on it. And supposedly you can jump a car with it. You know, you hook it up, and I can show you the package. So I'm not selling this. I don't know if it works or not. So if you see a name brand, don't tell them I sent you, because I don't know. Yes? So yeah, it's got the, can you guys see this? It's got the little jumper cables in there. So I don't know, guys. Maybe I'm old school. I've seen videos where it works, but maybe I'm old school and I'm thinking to myself, wow, big old vehicle. Wee little bitty bit. Wee little. Can you guys see how big that is? I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot, but I'm always going to have those big jumper cables in my car just to be on the safe side. Does that make sense? So this will probably go in the lovely lady in my life's car, and it'll be like whenever she travels, I'll put it in. Otherwise, I'll make sure it's charged. I don't know how long it'll hold the charge. When I got it, it actually said, what was it, 88% out of the box it was charged. And now it's at 96. By the way, I just put it on not that long ago, so it's up at 96. I'll probably wait till it gets to like 99 or something like that and unplug it, and then I'll put it in her car. So yeah, got that for my birthday. Yay. Now, for full disclosure, I'd actually gotten online and looked for one that was inexpensive, had good ratings, could do the vehicles that I have, and blah blah. And then I put it on my Amazon list. You guys know what I'm talking about, so that's how I got that. What else? Oh, and this. I was looking for a new headlight, and again, I got online. I don't know if you guys can even tell who that is, but I'm not saying these guys are great. I just did a little research, and so I put this, and I ended up getting it because this one I've had for years and years. It's Energizer. You guys with me? But anyways, years and years and years and years and years, and I just changed the batteries out. I end up changing the batteries out a lot. It doesn't last very long, which is weird. So maybe it's the technology. Does that make sense? So I still have it, but now I have this. I'm gonna see if all those darn reviews are good. Yes? Yes. And then finally, I got like a pack from somebody. It had like a headlamp in it, and it had one of these, and it had a flashlight. It's got a little light off to the side. I didn't have these on my wish list. It's just once your friends and family know that you do, this was for the camping actually, that you do camping and the such, and you like headlamps because you work on the car, which apparently people don't work on their cars anymore. So if people find out you work on your car and you like headlamps because it's better than holding a flashlight, they get you stuff like that. Like I said, and then I do camping, and then I guess it came with a flashlight. So anyways, I thought it was nice of them. And I appreciate any gift, you know what I'm saying? Because I have that in me. I think any gift should be received as it's intended, and it's a gift, for goodness sakes. Yes? So I try to look at it positive. But yeah, I think that's all I wanted to show you. I got other stuff, but I just want to show you that stuff. Yay. Okay, so done with the birthday. The next thing is, I'm looking at my notes over here, is I got the second planter bed. So I don't think I showed you guys. I have these really large raised garden beds. They're metal that I had ordered, and I'm going to order 3. I now have 2. I'm ordering them a bit at a time because they are expensive, and I don't like getting into debt. So I save my money, then I get something. Then I save my money, get something. So now I'm going to save my money, and I'll get the 3rd one because if I'm not mistaken, 3 is the tentative plan. And supposedly they're really nice. They're going to last forever. Supposedly, we'll see. There's a guy, he uses them. A guy I kind of look at online. He's been using it for years and years and years and years and years, and he's all about the raised garden beds, the larger ones. So we'll see how it goes. So I got the 2nd one. I got to put that together and put it out there, and then I'll get the 3rd one, put it together, put it out there, and then feng shui it, you know, so that the lovely lady in my life and anybody, the neighbors, I don't care, will come and go, man, you should put it this way, until I get it in place. Because they're like 30 or 32 inches tall, and they're like 6 feet long. So, and they're like 30 something inches wide. So and they can be arranged in different formats. That's the one I'm going to do. And once I fill those up, they ain't going nowhere. So they need to be moved around until people are like, man, that is beautiful in your backyard, feng shui, little path or something. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to do that. And I already mentioned I got a chicken coop. I'm only going to get 2 chickens, but not this year. But I'm going to put the chicken coop up with no chickens. So I got the garden things and the chicken coop, and move it this way and move it that way until it's like, wow, that looks perfect. It works. Walking between it, there's a natural path lines. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. People find them. And this is awesome. Then I'll fill up the beds. Then I'll finish the chicken coop because I'm going to do special stuff where the chicken run is and before I even get chickens. Yes? Yes. Okay, final thing is, and I'm going to read it off of here. Have you guys ever heard of Electro-culture? Now, in these videos, like preparedness videos or whatever, I think it was like 3 months ago, 4 months ago, beginning of growing, man, it was in almost every single person was doing a video on it. And if you don't know what it is, I did some research, and it has to do with using copper wire and bringing nutrients into the soil and using natural electricity that's in the ether. Some people actually put a small electrical current through wires that are buried, and it's supposed to help the soil and help your plants grow. It's supposed to help them be drought resistant. It's supposed to keep bugs, and sometimes some people say like funguses, but the bugs, it keeps the bugs away, and blah, 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 yakety schmackety. Let me get you some information that I found, okay? So what I found was like back in the 40s, 50s, somewhere in that time frame, Farmers were using copper. I know it's a soft metal, but they were using copper tools, the shovels and the rakes and the hose and the picks, and even using them on the old tractors with the things that tilled the soil, copper plating and stuff. And it was supposedly, it really worked in the soil. And this is all just supposedly. I wasn't there, guys, so don't blame the messenger. But supposedly the government came in and told the farmers, you don't want to do this anymore because you're going to grow so much stuff that then there'll be so much excess you won't make any money. So they went away from it. I don't know if that's an old wives' tale or whatever, but supposedly, and so they went away from copper. And so in the tools or copper plating or whatever. And yeah, so did away with it and everybody went to metal tools, regular metal tools, steel and such. Then like the next generation, farmers were still like, and again, maybe it was an old wives' tale, but they would like put just pieces of copper in their fields and just leave it there. And they didn't know if it was an old wives' tale or whatever the hell you call it, but things grew better. Yes. And to some extent, what people do now is they'll actually put a wire buried under the ground and they'll put a small amount of current through it. And then I don't know if you guys have seen it. They make the little antennas and there's all these different shapes. And supposedly it just takes natural energy from the air. Don't blame the messenger, guys. And it helps. And I'm like, I will try anything as long as it doesn't hurt anybody. It's not going to poison something and it doesn't cost that much money. You see what I'm saying? And so I got me some copper wire and I made me some little antennas and I stuck them in different places in my garden beds. Yes? Yes. Now, I don't know if you guys notice, I don't do stuff when it's trending. So when everybody else was doing it, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do it now. Besides, I need to save up some money to get some, because I don't do stuff. I don't do debt. To get me some copper wire, it wasn't actually that expensive, guys. And I just had to get around. I had to get around to it. So it was on my list, so I finally did it. So we're gonna see what happens. I made these little antennas, and then there's all this theory like if you're in the northern hemisphere it has to be spun clockwise, and if you're in the southern hemisphere it has to be counterclockwise. And then there's some scientists that are like, there's energy going both ways, don't even worry about it. So I spun some going both ways. I put them in different places. I put them by different plants. I made some that are different heights because I like experimentation. And that's it. It was a one-time purchase. It was probably 30 minutes of my life spinning the little things and sticking them out there. And I don't know, we'll give it a year or two and we'll see what happens because it's not like they're going to blow away. It's copper wire. So yeah, I'm willing to try just about anything. I'm not trying to be a hippie, but what I'm trying to do is do things like this. It's a one-time purchase. You're with me? What am I going to do? Lose them? They're like, what are they? The birds aren't going to carry them away. Nobody's going to come steal them. They're just little spun things of copper in my garden that no one even knows are there, basically. So, but I'll experiment with anything, especially things that's renewable. In this case, it doesn't ever go away. It doesn't have to be renewable. It's just sits there. It's static. I don't have to do anything. And if it works, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? If it's supposedly, they say like it gets insects away, great. I don't have to use poison. Supposedly it helps nutrients the soil, great. I don't have to try to use organic fertilizers to try to bring my stuff up. Oh, organic fertilizers. Let's talk about that. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but one of the reasons why everybody's not organic is because it's friggin' hard, it's time consuming, and it's expensive. So in case I haven't brought it up to you, doing it organic is slow. It's a slow, methodical process. Instead of using chemicals or whatever, they happen just like that. So I'm learning that. And then when it comes to certain crops like corn, my corn, you guys have seen my four corns right there doing really well because I grew them with the beans, and beans put nitrogen in. Corn, especially nowadays corn, needs tons and tons of nitrogen. And I went out, there's an organic farmer guy that I follow, and he's like, it is cost prohibitive to use organic compound fertilizers to try to raise corn, nowadays corn, because it takes so much nitrogen. It is hard to do. Now, I use other systems like I use the green bean thing. Yes? Now, there's a lot of people that don't want to grow green beans and then grow corn, or grow green beans and corn together. By the way, you have to do that right because my green beans killed my corn because I planted them at the wrong time. Doesn't matter. What I'm getting at is organics. If you're going to do organics, it is a minefield. It is time consuming and it can be expensive. Chemicals are mass produced. Everybody uses them. They're instant and it's cheaper because they mass produce them than organic stuff. So yeah, it's a pain in the butt. So anytime you see something organic, I mean, if it's really organic and not just organic, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, there's a reason why it's expensive, is because it is difficult. And I'm learning that. And I'm hoping you guys are learning from my mistakes or experience or roadblocks or stuff that I've run into. Yes? But I'm still trying to do it. And whoop back to the little antennas. If those things help me out and they're not chemicals and hey, what the heck? You know what I'm saying? Okay, last thing, maybe. We'll see what happens because you know how I change stuff. Last thing before we get into the reason I made this video, which is going to get kind of dark. And that is I'm finally willing. It has been years. I have been using a weed killer. Dun, 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 weed killer. And it is naturally made. I mean, natural, I guess. It's not a poison, technically. And so the recipe, I'm not selling it. Remember, guys, when I say I'm selling something, I don't actually sell anything. What I mean is that I'm willing enough to put it out there for you guys and give you my opinion. I did not come up with the recipe, okay? I got it online and then I did research and then I changed it up and I tried to find out whys and the wherefores. Now I'm going to give you what I know. You could probably Google and find more reasons, or you can probably find out how I'm wrong on something, maybe a little bit. But I can tell you it works, and I'm about to give it to you, but my minute's up. You guys ready? Okay, so this weed killer, listen to me very carefully. Do not spray anything, a spray bottle, do not spray anything that you want it to live because it will kill everything. It doesn't discern. There's some stuff you can buy from the store and spray in your yard and it doesn't kill your grass, but it kills certain weeds. That is not how this works. If you spray it, it will die. You guys picking up what I'm laying down? So be very careful about that. And so I use I'm looking around like I actually have one. Anyways, old gallon jugs of vinegar, 1 gallon jugs of vinegar is what I use. And so what I do is I use a half a cup I don't fill the whole thing up, I'll get to it in a sec, but so the recipe for me is 1/2 a cup of salt. Yes, salt. Excuse me. So 1/2 cup of salt. And then I use the cheapest dish soap, liquid dish soap that I can find. And I'll go over how this works, by the way. So the cheapest dish soap I can find, and I just squirt it in there. So I probably put in maybe 1/4 cup or less. You with me? So just squirt, and I'm done. And then I fill just above the little labels, so about 3/4 with vinegar, with another thing of vinegar, and mix it up. Now, if you want, I don't do it all the time, you can add 1/2 a cup of lemon juice. And like I said, I'll explain how all this stuff works. And yeah, and then that's it. And then I put it in a bottle that's especially for weed kill, and I go around and I spray my weeds. But not weeds that are in your grass, not weeds that are in your garden, not weeds that are in your flower beds. What it is like in your driveway, if you get cracks in your driveway or on the sidewalk, or like I flip the script and I have like little lava rocks out there and there's weeds always growing, or like in the curbs, you know how little cracks and stuff, you know what I'm talking about. And sometimes when I'm doing that, little cracks that go out in the street, you know how little things will grow? Yeah. Not anywhere where you want, if you squirt your grass, it will kill your grass. Okay, so let's start and see how it works. From what I found out, you guys can find out more if you want. But the biggest thing is salt. And it works great on sunny days because you spray it and what it does is it just dries it out. I can spray it in the morning on a sunny day. I can come back in the afternoon and those weeds are just like, I'm dying. Okay, let's make a point. It doesn't work as well as those poisons that give you cancer, like Roundup. You know those ones that you spray? Oh, it doesn't work that well. Usually I have to spray some weeds a couple times, like a couple days in a row, but you can tell it's working. You can see them dying, but I spray them again. You with me? So the salt dries it out. Then the main component is vinegar. Vinegar is an acid, and that tends to destroy the plant, like the little membranes and stuff. Minute's up, hold on, we're gonna have to continue. The dish soap, the reason why you put dish soap in it is, I don't know if you, some people call them like icicle plants, or if you've seen any weeds and they got that glossy outside to them and water beads up on them, they have like a waxiness on the outside. Okay, when you spray this, it'll just fall off, just like water will. But the soap breaks down that little barrier and it lets it stay on the plant. So that's why you put a little soap in there. It's just so it sticks to plants that normally have an outer coating that repels water or fluids or liquids. You guys with me on that one? Okay, and then lemon juice. The first thing lemon juice does is it makes it smell better because, yeah, vinegar doesn't smell good. And the other thing is it's a different type of acid, yes, supposedly, than vinegar. So vinegar is one type of acid, and lemon juice is a different kind of acid. And again, it's to destroy the outside parts of the plant so that the salt can get in so that it can dry them out. Yes, yes. Now, I'm sure I could have gone online and got this really cool presentation and all the little, you know, scientific data and how the components work and their atomic structure. And yeah, that's not how I do business. How I do business is I make it. I've used it for years. It works. I've told my neighbors. They've done it. It works. It's not poisonous. You can squirt in your mouth. It probably tastes terrible because it's got dish soap and salt and vinegar and lemon juice. It would probably taste terrible. But here's the thing. I'm spraying it outside. My neighbors have kids and people are walking their dogs. And we have a dog and I have grandchildren. You guys picking up what I'm laying down? I'm not spraying stuff like, I trust nothing. By the way, in case you guys haven't figured it out, I trust no one and I trust nothing. Sorry guys, it's just the way my life is. And I don't know how long Roundup was approved and then turned out to cause cancer, but you guys picking up what I'm laying down. So I trust no one. But if I make something and it's not poisonous, it's common things and it works, I'm going to tell you after I've done it for a couple of years. Yes? Yes. I'm sure not a lot of you care about it, but I'm getting out there. I'm sure I'm going to get some critiques down below about, well, it could be this, or you should use this, or this, that, and the other thing. And that's fine. And I'll probably look at them and maybe I'll experiment with them if you guys got different things. All I can tell you is I use it. It works. It's not that expensive. You know what I'm saying? And if you have a really good sunny day, like it is now, it will kill those weeds. It works less with less sunny days, and it doesn't work well at all when it rains because it just washes it off. You guys with me? Okay, disclaimer, I'm not anybody professional and nothing. So if you do this, that's your business. This is for informational purposes only. I'm just letting you guys know. But don't spray it on grass because it'll kill it, or other plants. Yeah, bad thing. Okay, so that's the last thing. So now we're going to move on. It's going to get a little dark, because that's how I do it, to the reason I'm making this video. Yes? Finally, Rick, you're finally getting around to it? Yes, I'm getting around to it. All right, so I'm gonna say up front, I'm gonna probably sound a little mean. I'm not a mean person, but it may sound a little mean. So I'm going through some stuff and I have no idea how it show up on my feed, but there's this influencer, and I guess she does TikTok. And she comes on and she's like, yeah, she's all smiling and laughing. And she said she went down this black hole somehow in her feed. She got onto doomsday preppers. Okay, I've mentioned it before, I will mention it again. This channel is not for doomsday preppers. Basic emergency preparedness, practical preparedness. You guys with me? This is a big wide field right here. So not doomsday prepper. And she was like laughing and giggling, and she's like, oh yeah, you know, maybe it kind of made me think about being a prepper, but, and here's where it started. She goes, yeah, but I live paycheck to paycheck, so I probably can't afford it. Right there's where it initially started. Yes? Okay, let's start off with, for practical preparedness, you should not live paycheck to paycheck. We've discussed finances before. So her first issue that I have with her is she lives paycheck to paycheck. And then I always start off with basic emergency preparedness. And I took a look at her and I'm like, don't judge me, people. Don't judge me. I took a look at her eyebrows and I'm like, you know what? That brow job right there, which you probably have to get done every 2 or 3 weeks, one time, you probably could have got yourself a first aid kit. Basic emergency preparedness. You guys with me on that? And then I'm like, and the filler in her lips, because she's an influencer. I mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk, guys. This is a fact. I'm like, you know that filler you got in your lips, which you got to get done like every, 6 months, people? Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I'm like, one time shot, that could have got you a nice fire extinguisher, you know, for where you live. You say you live paycheck to paycheck and you can, basic emergency preparedness. You with me? Just saying, and you live paycheck to paycheck. I know that sounded mean, guys. I'm sorry. It's just a fact. And then she went on and she just was like getting into this giggle fest. And she's like, you know what? I feel really sorry for those guys because, they just sit around waiting for something to happen. And they're just going to be so sad if nothing happens. And I'm thinking to myself, I have a fire extinguisher and I don't sit around and I'm not sad because there's not a fire. You with me? I have a first aid kit and I don't sit around and I'm not sad when I don't have to use it. I'm actually sad when I have to use my first aid kit. You guys picking up what I'm laying down? I have smoke detectors and I don't sit around looking at them and am sad because they're not going off. Or my carbon monoxide detectors where I'm like, oh my God, I have to run outside because there's poison in my house. I wait for it and I'm sad if it doesn't happen. No, no, and no. But we can take it up. We can even go away from basic emergency preparedness and go up. I go get gas and put it in my car when it's at like between 3/4 and half a tank. Yeah, but I'm not sad when I go. And one of the reasons I do it is because the price of gas goes up. Or I was alive in the 70s when we had to wait in line and you can only get $10 worth of gas and your license plate determined what days you could get gas. Anyways, I do that, but I'm not sad because the next day, the gas prices haven't gone up $2. I'm not saddened by that. I'm not saddened when I go, oh man, there's no line. Darn it, I got that gas yesterday and there's no line today. Or, oh man, they're not checking license plates. No. Basic emergency preparedness, practical preparedness. They shouldn't make, if you are saddened by doing these things, we'll get into doomsday prepper here in a second. If you are saddened by that, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but you need to leave. You see what I'm saying? There's got to be somewhere out there in the world another prepper channel for you. Just saying. And this is where things intersect as to why I'm not a doomsday prepper. A lot of people say that doomsday preppers, that's how they are. That they sit around in a bunker with their bullets and their beans and they're waiting for the end of the world. I don't know any of those people. I have never met someone like that. So if you guys have, let me know. You know what I'm talking about? But I mean, Doomsday Prepper, they had that TV show for a little bit. I think I saw like 2 or 3 people, but to be honest, I was like, they're psychos. You know what I'm saying? They were like way out there. As far as I'm concerned, everybody just has their own way. But that whole idea about preparedness, that's why I said not a doomsday prepper. Start off with basic emergency preparedness, a first aid kit, a smoke detector, a fire detector. You picking up what I'm laying down? And then move up to practical preparedness, and that's for each person where they want to be. And it's a huge scale. And it has nothing to do with being sad because something doesn't happen. I'm happy. I plant my garden. You guys saw my lettuce and spinach. I'm out there eating lettuce and spinach and making salads and putting it on my sandwich and being all it's organic and non-GMO and it's good for me. But let me tell you what, and it makes me happy to make a little salad from something I got in my backyard, or put some lettuce on my sandwich, make my sandwich bigger. Yes, and crunchy, and it's good for me. But I'll tell you what, I would be hella sad if I had to eat that and that's all there was. And I'm out there growing it and having to give it to people because people are you see what I'm saying? No, I'm not happy about it. I'm not sad that doesn't happen. You guys with me? Again, if any of you accidentally got here, go somewhere else, please. So anyways, let's lighten this up. That was the reason for the video. And it had 2-fold things in it. One was, this influencer, which I don't get them, people. I don't get them. Where some lady can get her eyebrows done and her makeup and put filler in her lips so they're poofy like that and just giggle, and people are going to look at her and she's going to get make money, but then only live paycheck to pay. I don't understand it, people, and I never will. Somebody can try. I'm going to tell you up front. You can try to explain that to me down below. I'm not going to get it. I'm a Gen Xer, and so it's just not going to happen. You guys with me? I don't think it will. Because, I mean, you could totally explain it to me like, oh, yeah. It still doesn't make sense to me. Yes, the mentality to it. And then, like I said, things transect where it's up here with the doomsday preppers, where people are actually sad because nothing bad happens. And I think you need counseling. That's a sad place to be in your life. I would look and I would try to find something else in my life. Try to find some happiness. Yes? All right, guys. I told you it was going to go boo kind of at the end. I go down. Started off with, it's my birthday, it's my birthday, it's not actually my birthday, it's over with, but I got presents and stuff and had a great time. And ended up with, there's some really weird influencers and some people need counseling. Yes? All right, I think that is about it. Updates from here. Yes, it's still hot, and I'm sure it is where you guys are. I saw a bunch of videos over the last week of stuff that we'd actually gone over not a while ago, like about a month ago, or when the summer first started, about having to stay cool. So I thought that was a good idea. I was actually ahead of the curve just a little bit, guys. I'm just goofing because, again, I'm usually behind because I don't like to be trending with everybody else. So anyways, yeah, try to stay cool. Supposedly it's just, I don't know. Some people say it's just going to be another few days and then it's going to calm down a little bit, maybe. Or some people say that this is the way for the rest of our lives. All right, guys, I'm just delaying because once I get done, I got to get back out in the heat, and I'm not looking forward to it. But yeah. All right, well, let me. I got no choice. Okay, to finish this off, I hope this finds you well. I hope you are happy. I hope you are staying positive, even though it's hot as heck. And I hope for whatever is coming your way, you are being prepared.